It's a pretty sad state of affairs and somewhere that is basically completely unloved, and that is the dashboard of WordPress. It hasn't changed in forever and it's not really a lot of use. It's kind of just a little bit drab. Today, I'm going to show you how to change all of that. We're going to change the look, we're going to change the feel, we're going to customize various different aspects, and we're going to go ahead and add in some custom features that really do open up what you can do and make the dashboard of WordPress a truly usable and enjoyable place to be. We're going to be using 3 plugins for this. They are free versions and premium versions. I'm going to be covering the premium versions, but you can still get a lot done with the free versions. Where applicable, I'll also talk about alternatives you can take a look at if you don't want to use the ones that I'm going to check out in today's video. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the dashboard and see what we can do with it straight out the box with no plugins. Well, first of all, shocker, not a lot. So let's just say this is the normal page, and let's go ahead and just dismiss this, go to the screen options, and now we can enable or disable any of the things that we do or don't want simply by unchecking these options. So that's basically what you can do. Let's switch those back on for now because there's some things I want to show you as we go through. Okay, so this is our dashboard. First of all, let's take a look at how we can radically change the look and feel of this. Now, yes, you can go down the route of using something like WP Adminify, which will totally change every aspect. But I like to have more granular control and choose what I want to do. So, first what we're going to take a look at is Ultimate Dashboard. We're going to be using the Pro version, but Ultimate Dashboard, there is a free version as well. So first of all, let's head over to our plugins and go and add a new plugin. Let's do a search for Ultimate Dashboard. Once we found that, we're going to go ahead and install this plugin. As you can see, 20,000 plus activations on this and pretty much 4.5 stars out of 5. So it's already got a good reputation and is being actively developed. So let's go ahead and install this. Once that's downloaded, we'll activate it. And there we go. There's our plugin setup. If we go into the settings, we can take a look at what this offers us. And as you can see, it does give us a fair old amount of features, even in the free version, but the Pro just does open up some additional options. So you can see we can go ahead and we can remove all those widgets on the front page, all inside one location. And you can see we can also go ahead and choose if we do or don't want to remove everything, we can choose what we want to remove. We can also use Ultimate Dashboard Pro, which we'll take a look at in a moment, to do things like remove third-party widgets. So like when you install Elementor, adds in extra different panels, you can use this to get rid of those. So let's say we want to get rid of all of those. We can also go in and we can customize the text color and the headline color if we want to. We can also take a look at the welcome panel, and we can, if we're using something like Elementor, you can use this to create custom panels inside the dashboard, give you full control of the design, I think, which is pretty cool. Okay, so this is the free version. So let's just quickly hit save on there to save those changes. Okay, so with the Pro or Premium version activated, you can see with the settings we changed, the dashboard now is completely empty. So we can, if we want to, go ahead and change that. But before we do, let's go and just brand this to make it look a little bit more modern, a bit more fresh. Great if you want to actually use this with clients where you want to apply either their branding or your branding if you're selling this as a white label based CMS. So let's go into Ultimate Dashboard. Let's go into the option for settings. You can see we now have full control, so removing the third-party widgets, icon colors, all those kinds of things. But first of all, let's go over to white label. Now, white label allows us to enable our own custom branding, so we'll select that option. That opens up all these settings now, so we can go ahead and we can change this layout straight away to something a little bit more fresh. Let's choose the modern option, and you see that already makes things look a little nicer. We can change our accent color, so I'm going to set this to be the sort of reddish orange that I use for my specific branding. But we can change then menu item colors, admin bar colors, background colors, all those kinds of things. We can add our own custom logo as well, so we can brand this out. You can see currently it says Ultimate Dashboard, but let's go ahead and change that. All we need to do is add or upload a file. I'm going to go ahead and use my logo file, so we'll upload that image. You can see now in the top left-hand corner, we've now branded this up. So already we're looking just a little bit more modern and fresh. But we can, if we want to, change the footer text, the version text. So we can just say, for example, and the same for the footer text. So we can get rid of this, thank you for using WordPress, and we'll just say, proudly powered by WPTuts CMS. We'll hit save changes on there. Now if we take a look at the bottom, you can see now we've customized all the information at the bottom of our screen. You can change the admin bar logo URL. We can change all these different aspects, so we can customize the look of this very easily. If we go into things like the login customizer, now we could go ahead and customize the entire login look. So we go to login customizer. This takes us into the normal sort of WordPress customizer area, but now we've got a new section for the login customizer. Now, if you don't want to use a tool like Ultimate Dashboard, free or premium, then I would recommend taking a look at Login Press. There's a free version of that and a premium version, which I've covered in videos in their own, so I'll put links in the description below. That's a good way of customizing the login. But if you are using Ultimate Dashboard Pro, then you have all of this inside the one plugin, so it just reduces the amount of plugins you have to run and update in WordPress. So first of all, let's take a look at the templates. You can see at the moment we've only got 3 templates, but we can customize the look of those. Let's choose this one. Let's go back and let's start to brand this up a little bit. Let's change the logo. We'll select our new logo and we'll select that from our list. So we're already starting to brand this up. We can adjust the height of this if you want to make it larger or smaller. We can also set the URL for this, and you can see we can use these short codes if we want to. So let's copy that from there and we'll just set that. Now, so if anybody clicks on the logo, it'll take us to the home page of our site, and you can see the logo powered by WordPress, and we're going to set this to be powered by unicorn poop, because why not? Okay, so let's go back out of there, and now we can go and set a background if we want to. So we can set a background color, or we can select an image. So let's say we'll take a look at this one and we'll choose this image. You can see now we've gone ahead and totally branding out the actual look and feel of this. You can control the position of this, enable a background overlay if you want to. So if you wanted to darken this or lighten this, you could do just that. Adjust the opacity on there to get the look and feel that you're actually after. So you can see lots of control over this. You might say we want to make this purple, for example. That could be part of your brand colors. All those options are available. There we go. I kind of like the look of that. We can come back out of there and we can now go ahead, customize the login form. So we can set the background. We can position this to be left or right. We can set this to be default, which is just kind of floating in the center. Personally, I prefer this over to the left-hand side. But whichever option you choose, you now get controls over how you set that up, the look and feel and so on. Same goes for the input fields. We can customize those if we want to. So we can see we might want to change the border width on there. We might want to change the border color. Set that to 1 pixel. Our border color. Make that a little darker. There we go. So you can see focus color, the button colors, all these options are available for us to customize the look of this, including things like the footer link. We can customize the colors and things on there, and the login button. You can also apply custom CSS if you want to. So we've now customized the login section of the site as well. So we can come back out of this, hit publish on there, and that's committed that change to our site. We can just come back out of our customizer. As you can see, we've also got login redirect. So if you're using something like iTheme security, you may have things set up in there, but if not, you could easily come in here and you can set up what you want. So we'll set a custom WP login, for example, and you can see now when we use the link to get in here, we go to login, that's the new URL we'd use. We can also set a redirect to the admin area. So if someone tries to log in that doesn't have access, we can set up where they get redirected to. And we can also even set up user roles. So we can say editor, where do they go to? We can set up author, where do they go to? Admin. So we can set up redirects for all of those different user roles. So if you want to keep people out of the dashboard, unless they have a specific user role, you can use this to do that. We're already cutting out several plugins from using this. So let's just get rid of those a sec, and we'll just set one global option up. Hit save changes, and we've now customized the actual URL alongside the login form and the look and feel of our dashboard. But we can go a lot further. Now, there's a lot more we can do inside here. And again, this kind of cut down on a lot of different plugins we can use. For example, we've got the admin menu editor and the admin bar editor. The admin menu being the left-hand side, the admin bar being the strip across the top. We can customize all of those. So if we go to the admin bar editor, for example, you can see these are all the different features and whether they're front end and back end, and also any sort of sub menus that are inside there. So for example, if we take a look at new, we've got a range of different options inside there. Now this might be something you only want to have certain features available in. Well, you can come down and you can choose that. So you can see we've got new, we can expand this out, and you can see we can go to sub menu and we can choose what we do and don't want inside there. Hit the little eye icon and we now hide those. So once we refresh and save this page, we should find they are now gone. So we streamlined the look and feel of that. And again, one more plugin to remove. The same thing goes if we want the admin menu editor. You can see we can control this based upon the different user roles. So whether you're using contributors, subscribers, and so on, if you give them access to this, you can now control exactly what they can and can't see. So for example, you may not want to have access to comments. You may disable those options. Well, we can now just disable that inside here, save our changes, and now comments is removed from the left-hand section. This is great if you are offloading this to a client and you want to streamline things. They don't get overwhelmed by all the different options that are available. Now, there's one more feature I want to show you inside Ultimate Dashboard Pro before we move on to the next plugin. And there's still more features you can take a look at, things like creating your own custom admin pages, those kinds of things. But at the moment, we have a pretty nondescript dashboard. If we go back to that, you can see there's basically nothing on it. Well, let's go ahead and customize that a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to go back into our admin editing section, and inside there, we're going to come into our all widgets section. Now, currently we have no widgets, but we can add new ones. Now, once we add a new widget in there, we've got control over what type of widget it's going to be. Now, at the moment, we're going to do something really simple, and we're just going to say add post. We can choose then between 5 different kinds of widgets: icons, text, HTML, video widgets, and contact form widgets. Again, this is one of those things, if you want to create a customized, branded, and helpful dashboard for WordPress, this gives you a lot of scope. You may want to have a contact form inside the dashboard so your client can just immediately fill that out when they're in the dashboard of WordPress, send you an email straight away. You may have video tutorials you want to embed inside here as well. All these options are totally available to you by using these tools. We're going to keep it really simple though and create a custom icon widget just so I can show you how this works. So we're going to choose the icon widget. We're going to use that one. So all we're going to do is we'll select the icon option, and we're going to come down to choose the icon we want. We're going to type in right inside here so we can find an icon that works with what we want. We'll select that. You can see that now updates. Tooltip, we're going to add a simple tooltip in. So there we go. We're just telling people now exactly what this particular function does. And then underneath, we're going to put the link in. Now you can see we can use either full links or we can use sort of shortened links. So for this example, we're going to just grab this new post. So we'll just copy that from there and we'll simply paste that into our link. That's now going to create a link with that icon to create a new post, which is just a normal adding a new post inside WordPress. And if you ever want to access any of the links to any of these pages when you want to set this up, all you need to do is hover over what you want. Then you can right click and you can just choose the option to copy link address. And then you can simply drop that inside there, edit it if you need to, do whatever you want. And then you can create your own custom little widgets inside your dashboard. So with that being done, let's choose some of the options from the right-hand side. You can see we can choose the position to be left or right, set the priority so we can make sure this is right at the top of the list or at the bottom of the list if it's not that important. You can also choose who will see this. So if you have multiple different user roles that have access to the dashboard, you may want to limit who can actually see this and who can actually access it. For now though, we'll leave this set to all, but you can easily come in and choose any of the user roles. So you've got full control. We'll hit publish. And we've now created our first widget. Let's go back to our dashboard. And you can see there's our new widget. If we hover over the little question mark, it tells us what this does using our tooltip. And now if we click on that, we go straight over into creating a new post. So much quicker. Saves us a couple of clicks every single time from the dashboard. Really, really cool way of working. And that's just some of the simple things you can do. Like I say, if you've got Elementor, you can use that to create custom dashboard pages, custom dashboard layouts, insert those into your designs, and so much more. So I would totally recommend checking out Ultimate Dashboard, free and pro, to see if that is the features that you need to create your own custom dashboards. Pretty cool in my opinion. Now the next thing to tackle on our list is the media library. It's still a relatively basic section of the WordPress dashboard. And this is great if you've got a really simple blog with a couple of posts. But once you start to create something a lot more complex with more images and files and PDFs and downloads and all those kinds of things, it really just doesn't work. Yes, you can get a quick view. Yes, you can do some basic things, but organization is not one of its strong points. We're going to rectify that now with another plugin. So we're going to go ahead now and install Happy Files. Now, Happy Files is a great little plugin, but it's not available on the WordPress repository. But it is a safe plugin, so don't worry about that. In all honesty, the plugin is from the same developer behind the Bricks Builder. This was the first plugin that he released and the first exposure I had to him as a developer. And Thomas has done a great job of updating Happy Files very recently. The free version gives you a lot of options, and again, the premium or pro version gives you even more. You have unlimited folders, those kinds of things, whereas the free version has a limitation. So just bear that in mind. But it is still more than enough for smaller sites that don't need to have tons and tons of folders folders inside the entire media library. So check that one out. So once we've gone ahead and installed Happy Files Pro or free, we now have options to go ahead and customize the way this works. So if we go into our settings section and into Happy Files, let's take a quick look there. So first of all, we can choose where this is available. So you've got posts, pages, and so on. So you can choose where you want this particular feature to be available. Do you want to disable inside the media library, default open folder, assign multiple folders? There's lots of options inside here. Have a little look. They're all self-explanatory. They're all totally explained. If we head into permissions, you can choose exactly who has access to the various different things. So again, much like Ultimate Dashboard, we can control using the plugin who can do what and where they can access these particular features. We're going to leave them as they are for this example. Let's head back over now into our media library. And you can see now we've got all the same options over on the right-hand side, but we now have this new section on the left-hand side with a ton of great options. So you can see we've got these icons at the top, so we can create new folders and create a folder structure. We can go ahead and select or multi-select images. We can expand all the folder structure. We can sort things, and we can also view the details. So let's take a look. Let's go ahead and create a new folder. So we're going to call this, we'll create our folder. And there's our folder structure. And now all we need to do is go ahead and just drag whatever we want into it. Simple as that. So now we've added one image file into our blog post. And if we click inside there, now we can see exactly what's inside there. But if we want to, we can also go ahead and add extra folders inside here. So your blog post is great. But what if we want to organize those by year and then by particular post? Well, let's go ahead and do it. Let's create, and we'll say 2022. We'll create that. We'll select it. And we'll create another one, and we're just going to call this blog post 1. Create. Boom. Simple as that. Now we can go back to our all files, and we can say, well, this one is from blog post 1. And if we click on blog post 1, there's our image. So now we've seen how easy it is to put into the different posts. What if you have multiple images you want to select and put those into relevant different folders? Very easy to do. Let's go back to all files. We'll choose the option to bulk select. And you can see that now allows us to go ahead and simply click on the images that we want in any order that we want them, and then go ahead and position those wherever we want. So we can now just drag that into blog post 1, and now we've got 6 images inside there. All done. Really, really easy to do. You can easily create complex folder structures inside here, organize all your media, make sure everything's exactly the way you want it. If you want to, you can also go ahead and you can see we can choose the select option, and now we can go ahead and select any of these folders or all of these folders or any random order that we want. Then we can go ahead and we can delete those from there if we want to. We won't delete them for now though. If you want to search, you can search through your folders. If you want to, you can expand things. So when these are shut down, you can click on expand, and that will expand all of the folders very, very quickly. And hopefully what you can see is it is incredibly quick. You click something, it reacts. It's like working offline on a computer, which is great. You've also then got the option to sort these, and you can choose to sort them by various different parameters: name, date, modified author, ascending, descending, those kinds of things. So pretty cool. And if you want to, we can click on details, and that will tell us some information about various different things. So you can see if we open these up, it tells us various different pieces of information, subfolders, the ID of that particular folder, and so on. And you may think that's all there is to it, but there's not. There's more. You can also right-click to choose to create, to rename, to delete, and you can generate gallery shortcodes and insert those into your posts and pages directly from the folder structure inside your Happy Files media libraries. Pretty cool. And hopefully what you can see is this already opens up a ton of possibilities to organize, manage, and make the media library actually fully usable inside the WordPress dashboard. Now, the last plugin we're going to take a look at to open up the possibilities of what could be done inside the dashboard of WordPress is admin columns. Now, for this example, I'm only going to be using the free version. The pro version has a lot more options available, but for most use cases, for simpler blogs, simpler website setups, the free version is going to be more than enough. So I've already gone ahead and installed this, and as you can see, this already has over 100,000 activations with a 5-star rating with over 1,400 reviews. I've used this in quite a lot of different tutorials in the past, and I love what admin columns brings to the table. Okay, so I've already installed that. Everything is set up and ready to go. So now we can just go ahead and start making things a bit more usable. So let's go to our posts, and let's go and take a look at all of our posts. Now, this is okay, but it could be a lot better. There are things inside here that I don't really care about. I'm the only person that writes content on this particular website. I don't need the author column. I don't really need things like comments and tags because I'm not using them. But I would like to have the featured image just so I can see which post is which. It's much easier than a bunch of random titles. admin columns allows us to do all of that and more. So let's go ahead, click on this little cog icon to edit the columns. Once we do that, that'll take us over into admin columns where we can go ahead and customize things. Now, because we've chosen this from the posts, we're automatically in the post section, but you can easily switch between any of the different post types and those kinds of things, including custom post types, those kinds of features, if you include those into your WordPress sites. Okay, so now you can see this basically just replicates that column structure that we have inside the posts as default, our title, author, categories, and so on. So we've already said we don't care about things like the tags, the comments, those kinds of things. Let's just remove them. There we go. We don't need to care about the author. Let's remove it. So now we've already gone ahead and streamlined things, but we can go ahead and do a lot more. Let's come in and choose to add a new column. You can see we can choose what type is it. So you've got things like title, author, categories, and so on. And you've also got custom fields, but we've also got things like featured image, those kinds of things. So for this example, let's choose featured image. Featured image is perfectly fine. We can set the width on this if we want to. We can set the image size to a custom size. We'll choose 150 by 150, but you can create something custom if you want to. And if we want, we can just go ahead and position this as the first item in the entire stacking order. Let's save that. Now let's go back and view. We've already created something considerably more useful for us. We can now see all the different images. And if we want to customize this, we can simply come back in, edit our columns. We'll go back to our featured image, open this up. We'll set this, we'll change it from auto, and we're just going to set this to be a custom size. So we're going to set this to be 100 by 100. We'll set the pixel value on this percentage-wise, or pixel value width-wise, and we'll set this to be 105, for example, or 110, somewhere around there. That'll do. Update that. Go back and take a view, and now that just streamlines what we want inside here. So already so much better, but we've got more options available. You can open any of these up. Open the title up and you can see we can customize the type, the label, all those kinds of things. And if you go for the premium or the pro version of this, you can apply filtering, you can apply inline editing, you can apply sorting. There's so much you can do. And I've got a video where I've covered this in WooCommerce, which I'll link in the description below. Check that out because that will show you some of the things you can do with the pro version. Just want to use the free version just so you don't think everything inside you is going to have to use the pro. You can get away with a lot inside free versions of these tools. Okay, so there's more. Let's say we want to update that. We want to add a new column in here. Actions, we can choose that. You can see we can choose various different options inside here, but we're going to stick to the actions because I quite like this one. We're going to use icons and that's it. We're just going to leave it as it is. We'll say update. That's at the last column inside our structure, which is perfectly fine. Let's go back and take a look now. And you can see what we've done. Instead of having the hover where we've got the edit and view and quick edit and those kinds of things, which if you're not a WordPress user, you may not even know exists. We've now made those things so much easier by dropping these icons that do exactly the same thing over on the right-hand side. So if we want to, we can click to edit this and go in and start editing our post. If you want to, you can go ahead and delete this. You can view it. You can do whatever you want. So all those options are available inside you, including the quick edit options as well. So we've already gone ahead and created something a lot more unique and a lot more usable. Now, taking the time to go through the different tools that I've shown you in this video, customize things the way that you want to create a truly unique experience is a great way of customizing the whole setup when it comes to WordPress, branding it, and just making it a much more usable and useful place inside the dashboard. Now, all the links for everything covered are in the description below for both the free versions and the premium versions if you want to check those out. Some are affiliate links, some aren't because they don't have affiliate options available. So take that for what you will. If you want to use those links, please do. If you don't, no drama whatsoever. As always, I would love to get your comments on what tools you use to create your own custom dashboards using WordPress. Drop those links in the comment section below. As always, my name is Paul C. This is WPTuts, and until next time, take care.